Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Chaos Gym. My name is Rahul, and with me I have fellow teammate Ryan Sabelhaus. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, what's going on, Rahul?
Ryan is a member of Team ARG Dragons and part of the Chaos Gym. For those of you who don't know anything about Ryan, give us a little bit about yourself, Ryan.
All right, so I am a member of the Chaos Gym with Rahul, and then I am also a sponsored player for Team ARG Dragons. So go and check them out for sure. Um, I've been playing the game for a really long time. I've ended up winning 4 regionals in the past 5 years, so I've made a name for myself off of those. I've also done pretty good at making my way to Worlds. I think I've competed in Worlds about 10 times, and I'm also a writer for 60cards.net. If anyone's seen my articles or anything like that. So, and then I've also been on your videos a bunch, Rahul. So hopefully everybody knows me by now.
Hopefully. So, looks like the list you played for Anaheim was pretty much a carbon copy of Igor Costa's second place Dallas Regionals list. Talk to us a little bit about that.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, Igor's my teammate for a reason. He built a really good list. He obviously tested it out a bunch, and so right after he did good at Dallas, I've been testing with that deck a lot. And I tested the same 60 cards. The only thing I really don't like is like the one Garbodor, but like if it's not prized, you don't have to deal with it, so it's fine. But the deck's just super good. It's really consistent. We went to some league cups with it. My brother played it at a couple league cups. He was doing really good with it, so I decided to bring it to Anaheim, and I went with that deck, and it obviously worked out pretty well. So
Okay, yeah, talk to us a little bit about, I guess, the night before kind of decision making, because I know you were in my room and you were freaking out at like 3 a.m.
yeah, dude. Oh my gosh. So I got there, and I got there a little bit early, and I was trying to figure out what deck I wanted to play, and I saw some people testing some stuff, and like I saw Michael Slutsky was testing like Solgaleo Mute or Solgaleo Lurantis, and a couple other people were testing like Yveltal with Tauros and Garbodor, and like I went there with Mega Mewtwo already built because I was like, that's probably what I'm gonna play because it's so good, and it's a two-shot format. Damage changes is super broken, so I figured I was probably just gonna play that. And then I got there, and then you almost convinced me to play Vespiquen because Vespiquen's busted. So I almost played Vespiquen because I was like, man, that deck seems really good too. Everyone's two-shotting and Vespiquen's one-shotting. Like, seems really good. And then I also was testing with Brad Curcio and Azul, and they both wanted to play Yveltal Tauros Garb. So that was my third deck, and I just couldn't decide. And I was freaking out, and I was talking to you, and you were just like, play what you know. And I was like, all right, man, I'm just going to play Mega Mewtwo. And it worked out well, so thanks for the
Yeah,
advice.
dude, anytime. Welcome to Chaos. So, uh, I'll just let you get into day one, dude.
All right. So I don't know about you. We talked about it a bunch for Anaheim. I really liked how the tournament was run.
It was
Like,
fantastic.
it was super good. Like the whole no players meeting, just sit right down and playing your first round. Like that was awesome because like we got done super early, and every time a round was done, we immediately started with the next round. There was like
Mhm.
no pauses or anything.
I think like at latest we had one round where there was like a 20-something minute delay, and
Yeah,
that didn't even feel like a delay.
yeah, it really didn't even feel like it was like finally I get to go to the bathroom and not like have to just sit right back down and play again. But we got done at like 8:30. Like that's sick. You never get done with a regional day one at 8:30. You get done at like midnight or something. Like
We
it's
got to go to places that were still open for food.
I know, right? That was great. I actually got to go see like Anaheim. That was awesome. So yeah, that was the tournament was run really well. And now I guess I'll get into my rounds now. My first round, I played against some guy playing Yveltal Garbodor Tauros, and I was like, good matchup. That's what I wanted to see because Mewtwo, I can do more damage than him for how much energy we have, and I have damage change. So I was like, good matchup. So I sit down, game one, I beat him. Game two, he beats me, and it was like off of an N or something like that. It was like, and I wasn't drawn very well. We finally get into game three, and I'm trying to go as fast as possible, and then time gets called literally while I'm saying my attack. And like if I had just said my attack all the way through, and then his turn had started, I would have won because I literally needed one more turn to knock out something. So then I had to try and hit a Lysander on my turn, I guess technically two of time, and I didn't hit the Lysander after he animated two, and that's all I needed was just the Lysander. But so I started off with a tie, and I walked over to all my friends, and I was so unhappy because I was like, oh my god, I literally had that's like, oh, it's a good matchup. I just blew it. Now I have to ball out, otherwise I'm not gonna make it to day two. So I literally just looked at like all my friends. I'm just like, whoever I'm playing next round, I'm about to murder this person. Like I don't know who they are yet, but they're dead. I'm gonna. They don't know this, but they're about to play against the most angry Mega Mewtwo Garbodor player at Anaheim. So we sit down for round 2. Once again, Yveltal Garbodor Toro. That's what I want to see. Good. There's like no text, not that much energy removal or anything like that. So we sit down, and I just totally just slam dunk nothing. So I'm like, yes, good. Got my first win. Now let's keep this rolling. And then I sit down 3, and I see the guy shuffling, and he shows me a Max Elixir and a Fairy. And I'm like, yes, Rainbow Road. I can beat Rainbow Road. Just parallel Garbodor into something. Into like 3 or 2 or something. They'll dead draw, you win. Easy. And then he flips over his starter, and it's a Xerneas. So I'm like, oh, no. And then I find out he's playing Despair Ray Gardevoir, which is an auto win versus my Mewtwo deck. I literally can't. He just kills me. Like, I'm like, oh, let me get 5 energy to one-shot your Gardevoir. And he's like, oh, 2 energies, you're dead. And let me discard my Shamans on the bench. I'm like, oh, cool. Guess I'll just go sit over there. So we get going, and he smokes me game 1 because 2 energy attack OP. It just kills all my Mewtwo's. Game 2, like I Lysandre or something. And at that point, I kind of felt his deck out. And I was like, he doesn't play many switch cards. Like, none. He plays, like, 2 Escape Rope. That's it. And he plays Skyla. So I'm like, if he plays Skyla, he probably doesn't have that many. He took out something for those Skylas. He doesn't play, like, Floatstones. He plays, like, 1 Fairy Garden, maybe 2 Fairy Garden, and then he plays, like, 2 Escape Rope. So I'm like, okay. We're in the middle of game 2, and he had to discard, or knocked out his Fairy Garden, and then he had to discard, like, 1 or 2 Escape Ropes early. So I Lysandred up his Hoopa, and then he just sat there with it active until I had like 2 or 3 Mega Mewtwo's with enough energy to destroy anything. And then I Lysandred something up and I blew him up. And then like the war just started and then I won because I was up. So that worked out. Game 3 gets going. And this is like the game's kind of close because I did the same thing. Lysandred his Hoop up or something. And then like he struggled to get set up. And then like the game started. The game was like already almost. It was like almost about to be over. And he accidentally like tries to stand up or something. He tries to like stand up and he knocks over his entire deck onto the floor. Like I'm not even kidding. He literally knocked over his entire deck onto the floor and he knocked over his hand. So then he just picks it up. He picks everything up because he thinks it's all his deck. He didn't realize he knocked over his hand. He just puts it all on a pile. Okay? So at this point, his hand's gone. Like no one, I don't know what I literally was like, dude, where's your hand at? And he's like, oh crap. So,
oh god.
So he had literally just used a trainer mail and he found an N, but then I guess he shuffled it into his deck in the mess. So I call over a judge, and the judge, I'm not even kidding, bro. I don't think this is the right call, but the judge is like, okay, so we have 2 options here. Either you saw the N and you can let him play the N, or he can receive a game loss for shuffling his hand in the deck. It's up to you. And I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to have this decision. But
That's
I
a
was
really
like,
awful decision to make.
yeah, I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, okay, well, I did see the N, so we'll go with the N. And so we played the N, and then he apparently he had a Via Seeker in his hand before that, which would have like won him the game. But so I did see the N. I knew he had an N, so we played the N. And he ended himself to 2, and he missed when he needed to get, and then I knocked out his last attacker, and then I was able to win the game. So I guess karma hit me there for not just giving this guy the DQ, the ban hammer. So that was cool. Round 4, Volcanion. He just kind of went all in, dude. He just like himself down to 0 cards in hand like a couple of times, and he was just going all in. But Volcanion's not good when there's a Garbodor out. You can only do 20 damage, and when there's a parallel facing the other way, you can do 0 damage. So he was attacking with the baby Volcanion for like 0 damage half the game, and Garbodor's good. So I beat Volcanion. And then the next 3 rounds, I played against Mega Mewtwo mirror matches. So at this point, I'm 3-0-1, and I sit down for my first one, Mega Mewtwo, Garbodor, Zubstrika, and
good lord.
Cards, I didn't have a lot of tech cards. Mine was more consistent, so I ended up just running through them. 2-0'd him. And then the next Mega Mewtwo I played against was James Horvath. He was like, I think he was undefeated, and I was 4-1. So I played up to him. And basically, I think he didn't play a fourth Mega Turbo. I think he played an extra Parallel City, and so that ended up costing him game 1. And then game 2, I think he just kind of drew dead, and so I was able to win that game. And then round 7, all right, boys, sit down for this one. Whew! Round 7, playing against Sam Chen, okay? And he's playing Mega Mewtwo, but he has a Tech 1-1 Espeon. And I'm like, let's do this. He's got a Tech card that helps him, and I have nothing. So let's do this. So we sit down. I'm going first. He starts Eevee. I'm like, ugh. So we get going. You have Energy Evolutions turn 1, and we get going. And then like eventually, I somehow end up getting the game because I think like I end him and he didn't draw. I ended up winning that game. Game 2 starts Eevee. He plays a 1-1. He starts it twice. Okay, so then turn 1, Energy Evolution. Turn 2, I'm dead. And he's it takes me a lot of energies to kill this sucker, and I'm weak to this Espeon, and my attacks don't include weakness. His does. So he just blows me up and eventually gets enough Mega Mewtwo's where like I literally can't do anything. I just lose as soon as I take a knockout. Game 3 starts. I'm like, oh my god, if this boy starts Eevee one more time, I'm about to shoot myself in the head. We flip over. He started Eevee a third time. I'm not even kidding. He plays a 1-1. He started all 3 games against the matchup he needs it. I'm like, oh,
good, man.
but I look at my hand and I'm like, Ultra Ball for Hoopa, and then I keep looking and I'm like, Hex Maniac. Oh boy. So I get going. I'm going turn 1. Hoopa, all the juice. I get getting everything going, and then I even just look over at Azul because Azul's sitting next to me. I'm like, oh, bro, he doesn't even know. And then I freaking Hex Maniac him. Sit there, Eevee. You think about what you did. And then he just had to literally pass on turn 1. Had to just let his Eevee die. I think I like scatter shotted it and killed it. I was like, take him out, get him out of here. And then we kept going with the game. And I knocked out the Eevee, which was like super good because like as soon as that was gone, and then at one point in the game there was one pinnacle moment where he thought like I couldn't knock him out because I had a Mega Mewtwo with 2 Psychics on it, and he thought I couldn't knock it out his Mega Mewtwo with nothing, and he had 2 energies because he's like, oh, he needs 5 energies to knock me out. That's not going to happen. So then for my turn, I go Attach Energy, Mega Turbo, a 4th Psychic Energy, so I have 4 Psychics. Shrine of Memories, and then I scatter shot at him for knockout.
Oh.
For because it applies weakness. Yes. And he was like, he just looked at me. He's like, nice play, and I was like, yeah, that's scatter shot OP. So I ended up taking that game. At that point, I'm 6-0-1, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get a tie at some point. He's like, oh, I got a Evolution Mewtwo in my Yveltal deck. I've got the juice. I've got tech cards for you. I'm like, okay. You don't want to tie, I guess. So we played it out. I smoked him the first game. I was about to win the second game. And then he gets the Evolution Mewtwo and then attaches Max Elixir, Fighting Fury Belt off. And he had like 2 cards in hand, but he played a Sycamore to get it all. And he just killed me. And I was like, oh, that sucks. I guess Mewtwo's pretty good. And then we tied because we did not have nearly enough time. So I'm 6-0-2. At that point, I can afford a loss. I'm still in no matter what.
You're
so I sit.
Day 2, yeah.
Yep. So I sit down. I'm playing Josh Fernando. He's playing Darkrai, Speed Darkrai with a Rangaroo, and that's not a good matchup for him. Game 1, he draws badly, so I smoked him. Game 2, I think he just beat up on me. I think I stopped drawing good or something, like 3 or 4 Max Elixirs, and then he beat me. And then Game 3, I was going fast. I even told him, too, I was like, if you beat me Game 1, I will ID with you. And he couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
Bro, I told him, I was like, if you beat me Game 1, like, I don't want to try and 2-0 you in that little time. And so, but anyways, we get to Game 3, and Mega Mewtwo's got a good matchup against Darkrai, so I ended up taking that one. And then I went into Day 2 as the second seed with 23 points. So I was like, I need like 2 wins. That's it.
Must feel pretty awesome. You get out at 8:30 and you're the second seed.
Right, dude? And then we went to the packing house. It was sweet.
That place was
Got some
awesome.
got some super like macaroni and cheese and bacon hot dog. It was delicious.
It's the whitest thing I've ever heard.
It's extremely white.
So we get dinner. We go back to the room. You passed out in about 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, dude. I literally died. Like I just lay down sideways on the bed and you just looked at me and you're like, "Brian, you can't lay like that." And I'm like, "Shut up, Rahul."
All right, so we get up bright and early. We heading into day 2. You're feeling pretty confident. I know that because you told me that one of us was winning. We didn't
Oh
do
yeah,
it,
dude.
but we were pretty close.
Got close.
We were close.
Yeah.
All right.
And I was also confident because day 2, I'm starting off and I'm playing against the first seed. I knew I was going to play against the first seed because I was the only one at 23 points, and then he was at 24. So I was like, I'm playing against Speed Darkrai. Good matchup. I'm not even kidding you when I say this. I acid sprayed for the win in game 1. That happened.
I will let you talk about that series then.
He
I want
started
to know what happened.
he started Tauros, and I started Trubbish. And he goes, and he doesn't play DCs. He's playing Speed Dark.
Mhm.
So he goes, draws, and he's like, attaching energy to Tauros. Fighting Fury Belt or whatever. And he's like, all right, go. And so I get going, and I go Shaman, nothing. Sycamore, drawing no other Pokemon. I have nothing. So I'm like, well, I got nothing else to do. Acid spray. So I acid sprayed off his energy, and he was like, wait, what does that card do? He picked it up, and I'm like, bro, this is my main attack? Trubbish. So I acid sprayed him, and then after that, I'm not even kidding, he just left his Tauros to die. He's just like, I'm not attaching an energy, you're going to acid spray it off again. So he just left it there, and he gave me enough time to get set up, and so then I just ended up killing him, because he was like, I'll just draw into an escape rope at some point. He just didn't draw it for like, I think one or two turns after that. So I had enough time to get set up. Eventually, I got down my Mewtwo's, Mega Evolved into Mega Mewtwo's, and it's a good matchup, so I ended up beating him from Acid Spray, and then Game 2 was a clean sweep, so that was good. I was like, at that point, 26 points. I literally need, if I win any of my next 2 games, I can ID into cut. So I sit down, round 11, I'm playing against Finnegan, and he's playing Vespiquen. And I think you got to play against him too, so you saw his crazy concoction of a deck with Herdier and Rangaroo.
My only 2 losses the entire tournament.
His deck was crazy, man. And, like, it was really good because he would just go Skyfield. He'd be like, Shaman for 1, Shaman for 2. Like, at that point, it doesn't matter to him. He's just like, I'm just going to he's like, I'm just going to discard him anyway. And then next turn, he would just go Parallel City facing the other way, discard 5 Pokemon, including, like, 2 Herdiers or a Herdier or something. So there's 7 more Pokemon in the discard pile. I'm like, oh, my God. So he, like, could hit huge damage. So I got smoked game 1. I think my Garbodor was prized, so I couldn't really do anything. Game 2, I got a turn 2 Garb, got set up, shut down his Clef Keys, didn't let him use Zoroark to stand in, and I beat up on him. And then game 3, we literally had like 2 minutes, and so I was just like, he had 19 basic Pokemon in his deck, so I'm like, do you want to just ID? Because there's no chance I can donk him. Like, he had 19 Pokemon, and like, he's got a better chance of donking me. And he was like, yeah, we can just ID. So we ID'd. So I still just need a win. And then I sit down. I'm at table 1 at this point, and I think I'm still at table 1, actually, and I'm playing against Igor. And then we play a game where we both draw dead in game 1, and he eventually gets something, and he kills me. Game 2, I have to discard one of my Mega Mewtwo's early, and my Super Rod wasn't there. So I literally had to try and take my last prize with Scattershot, and all I needed was for him to not have 2 Lysanders in a row, and he had 2 Lysanders in a row at the end of the game, so he beat me. Both games, I was 1 turn off of winning, and then Igor just took me out, dude. Took him out. So I'm still like 1 win. I'm in. I'm at 27 points. Sit down and I'm playing against Decidueye Vileplume.
Thank
Craziness.
God I didn't have to hit either of that.
Bro, that deck was crazy, and I'm like, okay, I need to get down Garbodor. If I get down Garbodor, or if I get down my Hex at a good time, I'm fine. I can just beat up on him. It'll be fine. As long as he doesn't play like Beedrill or something, because I didn't know if he had it or not. So I sit down, I'm playing him. Game 1, got down a quick Garb, destroyed him. Game 2, he gets down turn 1 Vileplume with like a Decidueye and a Tauros or something. He just starts putting damage down. I can't evolve my Garbodor because I can't find my Hex Maniac to play a tool card. So he just smoked me in that game, and I kind of scooped fast. I was trying to scoop fast at least, but these games take a while because freaking Vileplume and his turns take forever because he's got a lot of stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we get into game 3, and once again, just like round 1 of the entire tournament, I'm one turn away from winning, and then time gets called.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't win. I tied, and I'm like, oh my god, now I need to win my last match. So I'm looking around. There's only one other person at 28 points, and it's another auto loss to me, or an auto win against me. It's Solgaleo Lurantis.
Told you the deck was good.
Yeah, dude, the only one that made it into day 2, and I have to play him in my win-in in the
It was like the only one
14th
who
round.
played it.
Yeah, for real. So I have to play him in the 14th round, and like his deck's just broken against me. I can't do anything if he gets set up. So we sit down. Strategy. I went first, and I started get going. I started get everything down. I got down to Garbodor. I got down a whole bunch of energies on my Mega Mewtwo's around like the second turn. I was Mega Turboing. I discarded energies quick, and I had him at a point where it was like, if you use your GX attack, I will kill you because I have enough energy cards. So you can't use your GX attack as Solgaleo. So he was like, he just kind of sat there for a little while, and then eventually he just blew me up without using his GX attack. So he had no energy on board. So I think I just started hitting his Lurantis, and then he attacked with Lurantis, and then I Lysandered up his Solgaleo, and I killed it. So at that point, he started setting up another Solgaleo, and then he got enough energy on it, and he blew me up. So he's down to 2 prizes. I have Garbodor down, so I'm kind of making it tough. I'm not letting him switch. So I go, and I Lysander, and I kill his... I think I killed his Solgaleo again. I killed another one because I had already hit it. So he's at a point where he's got a Lurantis with 180 damage on it, and then he's got he needs to start setting up a Solgaleo on the bench. So he just starts getting everything set up on the bench, and he uses an N, and then I think I eventually just draw into a Lysander for the game. So I was like, oh my god, I beat it game 1. Like, wow, maybe I can actually win. And then we get started game 2, and he's going first, and he goes Cosmog, or the little baby Fomantis, and Shaman's for 3, and then uses a Lysander on my Hoopa. And I'm like, holy crap. He either has Candy Solgaleo and like a busted hand that he didn't want to get rid of, or he's dead drawing. So I go, and I draw, I just retreat, Floatstone, switch, send up my Mewtwo, and I just Scattershot kill him. And he's like, I don't have anything, so Lysander something else, pass. And I'm like, oh my god, this is it. So I go DC, retreat, send up Scattershot guy, Scattershot the next Cosmog. So both Cosmogs are dead. He has no Solgaleo. The only thing he can do is try and set up a Lurantis. He gets a Lurantis up, I think, and he just starts setting up his Glaceon, and he eventually gets a Glaceon up, but he still has no Cosmogs. He's just drawing dead. So I kill everything else besides the Glaceon. It's just a Glaceon, and I'm like, okay, all I have to do is just Scattershot this thing to death. And then I finally read Glaceon, and I was like, oh, never mind. I can just damage change to him. He actually doesn't stop me. So literally, you just put damage. You can just damage change to him, and then he eventually just he couldn't do anything. So I beat my auto loss somehow, and everyone was shocked.
I was shocked.
I was shocked. I played it. I was shocked. It's like Scattershot, yeah. So I went into top 8 as the 3rd seed, 31 points, and at that point, I did not run into you. Because I was like, no, don't let me play Rahul.
I was going to put you in a coffin, dude.
Bro, I was going to put you in a coffin. I was like, just let me and Rahul not play so we can get 1st and 2nd of this tournament. We can just kill it.
It almost happened, too.
And then you hit an auto loss, and I hit a Vespa Queen. And I thought mine was okay.
Mine was kind of okay.
Yours was so bad, bro.
It was so bad.
So, yeah.
Right, tell us how you died.
All right, here's the death of Ryan Sabelhaus. I sat down and I'm playing this Vespa Queen. I know he plays a Mew because Rahul told me. So I was like, okay, just got to try and play around the Mew, get out a quick Garbodor. Game 1 gets going. I'm going first, I think. No, he's going first. So I go, turn 1, Ultra Ball, look through my deck, Garbodor prized. I'm like, well, this sucks. I can't shut off his Mew. He's going to just point. So I just try and go on with that. And he can use his Clef Keys. Like I literally, So I can't really do anything.
And he played 4, unlike me.
Yeah, he played 4 Klefki, dude, and Buddy Buddy Rescue, so he could get everything back. So
I
he's
didn't do
just,
either of those things.
yeah, he just goes and he just gets out his Klefkis. He's stopping my early attacks. I can't take early prizes. He just wins off the prize exchange, and then like a Mew comes down and blows me up at some point. I don't get my Garbodor. Game 2, I'm going first. I'm like, let's turn this thing around. All right, let's get down to turn 2 Garbodor. Shut down those Klefkis. Let's shut down those, the Mew. Let's not let him blow me up. So we get going. Turn 1 Ultra Ball again. Garbodor's prize. I'm like, oh, okay, somebody just shoot me right, right now.
You lost your series as fast as I lost mine.
I lost so because I didn't have Garbodor, and his Mew can just run rampant on me, like just blows me up for nothing. And like his Klefki's, I can't even attack. I have to Lysander every turn, or to even take prizes to try and find my fat Garbodor that's in the prize cards. So I got smoked, and I got taken out. It took me out, man. 6th place.
1 place better than me. Again.
Can't complain. 6th place.
Yeah. 6th place isn't bad. So where does that put you on... Oh, there's an internet connection problem here. But whenever you're back, where does that put you on your road to Worlds then?
I am at 346 championship points, so I'm doing pretty good. All I literally need to do is just I just literally need to just get my points off of cups. So I should be good for Worlds.
That's pretty comfortable and pretty solid to be there.
Yeah, I'm definitely not complaining. So we'll see how it goes. Or I just need one more good regionals finish.
Yeah. So where can the people find you next, I guess?
I'm gonna be at St. Louis. I'm gonna go to probably some cups, league cups in South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and then I will be. And I think I'm going to Virginia. So those are my next 2. So I'll be there. Or if you just want to go and read my articles, 60cards.net. Yeah.
It's not time for shoutouts yet.
Shameless tags.
Alright, since you're so eager, now I'll let you do shoutouts, dude.
All right, sorry, I got excited. I got excited.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Go and check out ARG. Go and check them out. They have a Facebook page, the Team ARG Pro Pokemon page. It's on Facebook. Go and check out the Circuit Series. Check out their tournaments, what they're doing. Go and check out 60cards.net. I got a new article coming out. It's basically a more in-depth tournament report. And then a couple of realizations that I got like from the format. Like I'll give you a sneak peek into one of them. I realized that Espeon is really good, like a lot better than Umbreon. And I didn't expect that. I thought Umbreon was going to be good, but like looking forward, I think like Espeon's
busted.
Yeah, I think Espeon is a lot better than Umbreon, and I did not see that coming. I thought Umbreon was going to be like so good, but Espeon
4 from his boxes.
you did. So you got enough for everybody. If anybody needs an Espeon, go and trade Rahul Reddy.
Borrow.
Yeah. Yeah, just in case you need to play a 4/4 Espeon in your deck or something,
Just in case.
But yeah, go and check out 60cars.net. Everything Team ARG related. Go and check out the Chaos Gym. You're already here. Might as well go look at some more videos.
What's up?
Go and check out some of their Twitch when they're on the Twitch, playing some games on the Chaos Gym Twitch page, ARG Twitch page. They do some crazy stuff. They do some tournaments. They got Ox openings. They opened like 50 million packs a couple of weeks ago.
It was like 10 hours long, dude.
It was crazy. Like, go and check them out. I think that's all I got. That's it.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. I will see you later, dude.
No problem. Hey, thanks for having me.